Okay, our topic for today is that I want to describe the characteristics of letter name alphabetic spellers and indicate why they spell the way they do. This has been studied for 40 years, most fruitfully by Charles Reed and Edmund Henderson. And Edmund Henderson also is the individual who coined the term concept or word. He began to look at children's writings and trying to find patterns to understand why they spelled as they did. One of the early patterns is that children spell in a gibberish type way. This is a pattern that we tend to call in research C waves, that children are simply representing what they see, sort of the left to right directionality. And this particular work that was done by a child, let's see if I can make it bigger. It depicts a trip to the zoo. So you can see it's a very busy picture. And down here at the bottom, the teacher has written in as a dictation, I am at the zoo. But you see this string of letters, Y, I, Z, 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 I, T, I, J, L, O, or D. And there's this very busy picture at the zoo. The child has figured out at that point that letters, the child knows individual letters, but is trying to construe a story based on the picture. And here's another story showing a family camping, and this 5-year-old has the names of himself and his brother and his camping tents that are have been put up. But again, the child only knows the names of the alphabet. So you see this A, B, C, D, E, F, G letter string, plus a couple of letters out of his name. Here's his name up here, that the names, letter names get inserted from the child's own name. Well, here's some writing by Edward, and you can see Edward is still making a reversal in his name. But in his writing, which he dictates to his teacher as I made some toys, are still a random set of letters. Some are from his name, E, for example, R, and this reversed D is showing up also in his writings as a B. Suddenly the code is cracked and children start seeing the phonetic elements. So Douglas here is writing, and you can see the contour phonetically. Firemen, FM, came today. And he also writes docks. You can hear the C in docks are where you park boats. So once the code is broken, children can start writing using invented spellings, and they should be encouraged to do so. Now here's a real interesting story of a child. He's writing about his encounter with a spider. A spider came in my mouth. And you can see the spider dangling down, and here's a very scared little boy. So the next panel of his story shows where all this took place. And you can see, let me make this a little bit larger. He's actually in his bathroom, and he's got everything labeled. So starting up here at the top, he says here's the window, here's the basin. You can see that P and B, the beginning sounds, they are so similar that he's not separating those out. The basin. Here's the sink, and over here is the toilet, and he's got the spider labeled in me. He's able to write, though, I spit the spider out. So despite just learning to grapple with all the sounds in English, he's able to write. And then this starts getting pretty cleaned up. Water is good for you. It does not have any calories, and it is a liquid. So children, in a way, can construct their own writing based on their limited knowledge of the alphabetic system. The alphabetic system is the phonetic system in which sounds are assigned to specific letters. I like to go swimming because it is fun, because I don't have to use my inner tube. So even though children don't know all the correct spellings, the spellings begin to correct based on the quantity of reading that they do. Writing is the flip side of reading. The more reading you do, the more writing is coming out of it as well.